Hi, I'm Brian. This is how you make my upside down pie. First up, we're gonna crush our tomatoes by hand. We're making an upside down pie. It's super simple. When pies are really simple, you kind of need to show a little bit more technique, a little bit more love with the ingredients. I like having the cheese on the bottom and the sauce on top. It provides more texture. Hand crushing the tomatoes so that you get those nice bursts and nice little pop of tomatoes with each bite. Going to layer all the flavors so it tastes really nice and comes together really easily. This is also a pizza that's going to be less heavy and wet on the bottom, so this is a good beginner's pie. What you're looking for with tomatoes are San Marzano, preferably a DOP if you can find it. You just want a nice plump tomato that's in its sauce, something that you can crush that has good texture and will hold on to all the flavor of the pizza. We're gonna take our can and carefully dump it here into the bowl. Now, really simple. You can use a food mill if you want, but I really just prefer to be a little bit more rustic and just crush these in my hand. Just be careful you don't squirt yourself with any tomato juice. A good trick for that is submerging the tomato in the sauce and then crushing it. Whereas if you crush it outside, you might get some splatter. You're really looking for something like this. These are really important when you're biting into the pizza. It's gonna be the pop, that burst that we were talking about. This is ideal. Good quality tomato. We're gonna set this off to the side. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna shave our garlic really, really thin. We need a mandolin and our garlic. We got some nice plump little knobs of garlic here. We're looking for something really thin. This is a good example here, but if you can get it thinner, even better. When I'm using a mandolin, I don't like to have my fingers here. It's a little bit dangerous. I like to press with my palm, add some weight, and push down. You're gonna get a nice little piece here. You can go a little bit faster if you do this too. Very thin, almost translucent. So now we have all these little pieces of garlic. They're melt really nicely and just kind of add a nice little layer of flavor. Your prep is done. This is very, very simple pie. Okay, we have our crushed tomatoes, our grated pecorino romano, sliced garlic, dried oregano, and our fresh mutts. I'm gonna grab a dough here, dust the pizza with a little flour so it doesn't stick to your hand. Easier to grab that way. We're just gonna cover the pizza in the flour, just get any bald spots so it doesn't stick to the surface, our hands. Now it's time to make a pizza. So for this kind of pizza, I like to use a flour mixture of semolina, bread flour, and 00. It provides a nice crunch, really good protein structure, and this really helps you stabilize the dough and in turn just provides a really good balance of flavors on a pizza that's so simple. This will work with any pizza dough recipe. Go to Gozney.com and find one. I want to make a nice rim around the edge that's thin. I don't want too much crust. I want more pizza than crust. So you're being diligent in pushing out any air because you don't want any rise in the middle. All right, we have our pizza dough stretched out. Time to make a pizza. First step is the pecorino romano as our base. Then we're gonna do our shaved garlic. You wanna put the garlic on at the beginning because you want to cover the garlic so it doesn't crisp up and become bitter. You really are focused on this being melted into the pizza. Next, we're gonna use some fresh mutts and just kind of place it on the pie. You wanna place the mozzarella on the areas where the garlic isn't. It'll melt over, it'll be really nice. Now we're just gonna add a layer of dried oregano. Final step is to add the crushed tomatoes. I like to use a slotted spoon for this as you wanna remove a lot of this liquid. Just focused on using the crushed plump. I like to think about how I'm gonna cut the pizza so that when you're eating it, you have a bite of everything on the pie. And that is it, that's our pizza. So I'm gonna dust the peel with a little bit of flour so that we avoid any stick. I'm gonna turn the oven down just a little bit. I like to drop my pizzas with a low flame. Stretch out just a little bit. We have a nice little base of cheese. The tomatoes are sitting on top. The garlic is nice and hidden. It's gonna be a really great pie. So we're looking for char on the side. Once we have char on this first side closest to the flame, we're gonna move the pizza 90 degrees and we're just gonna keep moving it. I like to turn the oven off at the very end of the bake so you get a nice crispy pizza, nice crispy finish. All right. Now that the pizza's done, we're just gonna crush it with some Maldon salt. Come on, take a bite.
What do we have here?
This is my upside down pizza. Cheese, mozzarella on the bottom, tomatoes on top, a little dried oregano. Here you go.
I appreciate that. Smells lovely, looks lovely. Nice juicy slice. Cheers to juicy slices.
Cheers.
Nailed it.
For the recipe, go to Gozney.com.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.